You're witnessing live the presentation of the 2024 Abia State budget by His Excellency Governor Alex Otti OFR, live here at the State House of Assembly.
For the government to come in. Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Abia State, the Speaker, Abia State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Pastors, and Guinea, committing to you to reach all the principal officers and honorable members of the 9th Assembly at the 8th Assembly of Abia State. Honorable members of the House of Representatives, they are present. I would like to recognize you and the other recognition representing the good people, official and staff, and North Federal Constituency. Honorable Otti representing Equator Omega Federal Constituency. Honorable Chris Nkwamba, representing the good people of Otti East and West Federal Constituency. Honorable Hajim Alozia, member representing Osisioma, Obimwa and Ubunabo Federal Constituency. Honorable Ipe Okara Osono, representing the good people of our people of Abia Federal Constituency. Honorable Amodi Oka, representing the good people of Isikuato Federal Constituency. And I then also recognize in our session the Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps, who is not physically here, but has sent message of goodwill. He was supposed to be here, but something last minute. He said he's here with us today. I'd like to recognize him. The former Speaker of this honorable House, my friend and brother, Right Honorable Stanley Madirota, may I introduce you to reach all former members of the Abia State House of Assembly that are here with us. The State Chairman of Labour Party, Dr. C.K. Egara, Secretary to the State Government, Professor Kenneth Head of Service, Mrs. Ngozi Queen, PhD. All honorable commissioners who are here with us, particular reference to the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Mr. Kingsley and CK, and Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Mike Kabara. All special advisors, senior special assistants, and aides to the governor that are here, and APUs, Honorable Shane Lekenge, the Deputy Chief of Staff, to reach all of you. All permanent secretaries that are here, especially the permanent secretary of the House, the clerk, and head of the Legislative Service Abia State House of Assembly, Mr. Nopego Brokansi. a great sense of responsibility, grateful for the sacred honor to present the 2024 budget to this honorable assembly and offer our people at home and in the diaspora an insight into our holistic plans and programs for the rebuilding and restoration of our advantages state in ways that stimulate the economy, create jobs for our teeming youth population, and set us on a new development project in line with the promises that brought us to power 12 months ago. We will in your communities and plans selling our idea for a new Abia to the electorate, making a strong case that we must take a new direction in order to fulfill the inherent promise of this great land. 3 months later, precisely on the 18th of March 2023, you elected us to lead the state. The message of our electoral victory was direct. People wanted a clear break from the past, wanted a new Abia, a state where government works in service of the common people, and not just for a privileged few. We took office on May 29 this year with a firm resolve to commit everything at our disposal to the service of our president. I consider the opportunity to serve our people at this time the greatest honor of my part. It would be proper at this point to commend the leadership and members of the State House of Assembly for the smooth and harmonious relationship that exists between the executive and the legislative arms of government. The judiciary in the state has also been very outstanding in the very challenging work of setting the tone for the new Abia, a land where justice will be the first condition of humanity. The understanding and respect that underpin our relationship as different arms of government have been very central to the modest progress that has been recorded across critical sectors in the last 6 months. While it is true that we hit the ground running from the very minute the oath of office was administered, setting out the appropriate institutional frameworks for immediate evacuation of the mountains of refuge that have laid over the streets of our major cities, amongst other key deliverables. We are also not unmindful of the fact that the budgetary foundation of the government for the 2023 fiscal year did not come from us. We are therefore constrained in so many ways, even when we try as much as the law allowed us to redirect government expenditure to areas of utmost priority to meet the immediate demands of responsible governance. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we are fulfilled to announce that several roads that were previously impassable, including the MCC by Road Express, Umimo, the long-abandoned Port Harcourt Road. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, and fellow pageants, it gives me great joy to report that for weeks now, Julius Bender, one of the biggest names in road construction and civil engineering projects, have been at work on Port Harcourt, deploying the most sophisticated equipment and engineering professionals to the job, because we made it clear that in the new Abia, we either get the best or nothing. With a completion timeline of no more than 18 months, expectation is that by the beginning of 2025, we shall see a boom in economic activity along that corridor, with many of the businesses that left years ago returning, in addition to several new ones. No more than we are speedily completing the Osa Agricultural Opera Square road construction and expansion project for smooth flow of traffic into the capital city. It is our firm belief that the major entry points to the capital city should make a statement. In the light of this, that work will soon start from the boundary in Nollywood to the Abia Torrent. This is in addition to several palliative works going on in most parts of the city to improve intra-city transportation as well as support business activity along important economic corridors. Beyond our modest progress in the restoration of urban road infrastructure, we are also making several efforts in several communities across the state to enable the seamless movement of our people and transportation of valuable commodities from rural to urban centers and improve transport experience from one part of the state to another. With the coming of the new mayors, we hope to see even greater progress in the rehabilitation of rural roads. We are very particular about road construction because our understanding that roads are major economic enablers, aiding trade and commerce, supporting agriculture, as well as boosting the appeal of our major cities to both residents and investors. Ambition has been constrained by the very limited resources at our disposal, but we have been very innovative in our approach to dealing with the challenges that confront us. To make up for the shortfalls in resources, we returned the core engineering team of the State Ministry of Works to the field under the Direct Labour Agency, creating an environment that encourages them to deploy their professional expertise more practically. And I can tell you that the results have been fantastic. In addition to expanding the network of motorable roads in the state, we have also taken special interest in healthcare delivery services and education. In health, we have successfully renovated the long-abandoned Abia State Specialist Hospital and Diagnostic Center. The eye clinic at the facility can now compete favorably with the best anywhere in the country, if not in the region. And across the state, gradual renovation and rehabilitation works are taking place across the general hospitals. Furthermore, access to health care in the state has improved, especially with the free medical services, which we initiated at the beginning of this administration, and which will run until the end of the year in all public health care facilities. Thousands of Abians in rural and urban communities have benefited from this project, which covers diagnostics and laboratory services, counseling, and supply of drugs. In the education sector, we are also making tremendous improvements in the teaching and learning environment with strategic investments in the renovation of schools across the 17 local governments of the state. We are also working hard to return professionalism to the teaching profession through regular training and training programs. We are determined to improve the competencies of our teachers in tune with the demands of the modern world. For administration, the focus is to turn the schools into a fit-for-purpose environment for the training of world champions, young men and women with the skills to compete with their peers from all over the world. We are working to phase out rote learning, and over the next few years, we shall migrate to new learning platforms and methods that are designed to not just make learning more effective, but also prepare the recruits and students for the reality of the world they are living in. The education and health sectors, in morale of the personnel, have boosted the regular payment of salaries and other entitlements. Our teachers and health workers, like their counterparts in other sectors, now know when to expect their salary and can plan accordingly. Not for the once have they been disappointed in the last 6 months. In Abia, we have also made great strides in security through proper support to the security agencies, including procurement of operational vehicles and other hardware necessary for effective security operations in all parts of the state, including crop residents in matters of emergency. We launched Operation Crush in August this year to deal with the menace of violent crimes. I'm glad to report that our determination to make the state safe for residents and investors has seen us diminish the capacity of the criminals to thrive in any part of the state, although we still have pockets of challenges in a few places. But it is that Abia is now one of the safest places to live and do business. Our Life of Abia project has seen us invest extensively in the procurement and installation of solar energy-powered lights for major streets in our urban centers. We have since extended the project to local government headquarters across the state and the logistics center. In addition to extending business hours for our entrepreneurs, proper street lighting also aids security, as no criminal license or grade on that solar. I promised on my inauguration that our government shall work to expand the frontiers of opportunity for our youth population. I'm glad to report that in the last 2 months, we have, through the Ministries of Digital Economy and SMEs, Budget and Planning, and several other organs of the executive arm of government, pioneered initiatives that are structured to improve the skills of our youth, especially the ICT skills, to enable them profit from the boundless opportunities of the new global economic system. Working in conjunction with major partners, including global tech giants, the state has successfully trained thousands of youth in various ICT skills to support their needs for global job markets. We are desirous to see a boom in the ICT space in the state, and this is why we have created a robust system that exposes our young people to the abundance of opportunities in the sector for gainful employment and successful entrepreneurship. The target is to steer our young people away from the temptations of dishonest labor and offer them a platform to apply themselves to dignifying ventures. Across communities, we have expanded the structure of our partners, more vulnerable households, in the light of the continuing shocks of the post-COVID-19 pandemic and the removal of fuel subsidies by the federal government. We have been committed in supporting as many vulnerable households and individuals as our resources can carry in portions of the administration's social support system and as reducing extreme poverty, which continues to absorb the dignity of our people in several communities. Today's budget presentation is therefore significant in many ways. First, it is the first full-year budget by our government. We have deliberately structured the key items in the budget to reflect the priorities of the administration on very important frontiers, especially road infrastructure, human capital development, health and human services, social support initiatives, digitalization of the service delivery mechanisms of the government for efficiency, among other objectives, which are strategically tailored towards opening up the economy to local and global interests. Our goal is to coordinate on the modest, our goal is to consolidate on the modest gains made in the 2023 budget cycle, especially in the last 6 months. We have strategic investments in public infrastructure and social services, in addition to the consistent especially of your subsidy, massive appreciation of the life, and the economic evidence. Honorable members of this House are also aware we have seen a steep rise in inflation, which has distorted economic plans and projections made by businesses, governments, and houses. Adjusting to this sharp rise in prices of goods and services has been very demanding, especially for a new government with immense responsibilities on its shoulders, working with a budget made by its predecessor on the basis of assumptions that are no longer left. On the basis of facts available to my office, I have done quite well in the implementation of the 2023 budget of 160.5 billion, And the projection is that we will go well past the 60% budget implementation mark achieved in 2022. Remain transparent and open in the presentation of our budget performance report, and this has helped in giving this a good understanding of how public resources that we don't are being used. The target is to do better in 2024 by making the most of the feedback we got from the public over the last 2 quarters. The 2024 budget proposed, which we christened the budget of new beginning, targets the expansion of our public infrastructure in line with our new development target, scaling up access and quality service delivery in the social sector, with special focus on education and health, where we are proposing to commit more than 20% and 15% of the aggregate budget spending, respectively. The state is proposing a total expenditure of 567 billion 240 million 995,000 and 972 naira. That is 567.2 billion naira in the 2024 fiscal year. The above figure in nominal terms represents more than 400 billion rise from the 2023 estimate of 160.5 billion. Although when adjusted for inflation and fall in the value of the naira, the reality becomes slightly different. The key distinction in the 2024 budget estimate, however, is in the direction of spending. While the 2023 projection allocated 53% of the entire budget for capital expenditure, our target in 2024 fiscal year is to spend 84% of the total expenditure on capital projects and commit 16% to recurrent expenditure as against the 47% in 2023. Of the proposed figure, government's estimated total revenue is about 166 billion, 166,077,717,058, including earnings from an IPR channel, federation account, grants from multilateral organizations, and income from other revenue sources that will be available to the state government over the course of the accounting year. So the next question will be, where will the rest of the money come from? We plan to finance the deficit of 401 billion, 162 billion, 378,914, partly by new borrowing estimated at 385 billion, 271 million, and 27,214.00. 50% of this borrowing will be sourced externally, while the balance will be procured domestically. It must at this point be stated that all borrowing in the 2024 fiscal year will be committed strictly to capital development projects with direct impact on the economy of the state, especially roads, schools, medical facilities, and a lot of other capital expenditure. The projection is that the impact of these projects on the general economy in the medium to long term will generate sufficient returns that will enable the state to meet her obligation to the creditors smoothly and ultimately pay off the loans in due course. The assurance I want to give you, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, and every Abia is that under my watch, not a couple shall be borrowed to finance recurrent expenditure. All borrowing will be negotiated on terms that are favorable to the state. Rebuilding the state's public infrastructure requires the sort of targeted financing we cannot immediately access within the state, so we have to pay to borrow to fund the projects that will kickstart the economy and make us competitive on a global scale. More importantly, the citizens and other stakeholders will have the opportunity to monitor how the funds are being spent and the impact of the projects on their community from inception to completion. It is very important to guarantee transparency And as a listening government, your inputs would always be very important in our decision-making process. In the 2024 fiscal year, the state proposes to commit 44.76% of the budget on the economic sector, with the larger chunk of the resources going into works, about 17%, land and housing, about 10%, agriculture, over 5%, and finance, about 5%. We should be committing major resources in the 2024 fiscal year to the reconstruction and rehabilitation of some of the most important roads along the major economic corridors of the state. The budget has provided for completion of some of the projects we started this year, including Port Harcourt Road, Abia, Osa Road, Umuahia Uzuakode, Abreba on Hafia Road, Uzuaba Ndiokereke Arochukwu Road, the dualization of Umueka Umuenye Umuoba Road, dualization of Owereta Umueka Road, Nonya Eguama Isukwato Road, Onuimu Abia Tower Road, amongst others, as well as the commencement of new road projects in parts of the state. For housing, the state shall be partnering with reputable private developers to develop new mass housing projects in our major urban locations. We are not just looking to erect blocks of flats. Our target is to develop sophisticated urban locations that answer to the housing needs of our upwardly mobile youth population, young families, and diaspora population. In agriculture, we are proposing to designate Benue and Lumunoj LGAs as special agro-industrial processing zones. Special agro-industrial processing zones will be structured to serve as major hubs for the production, aggregation, processing, and distribution of major agro-commodities produced in these areas for improved value in the local and international markets. And this will be in addition to the Abia Innovation and Industrial Park that we opened not long ago at Owaza. The government proposes to commission site-dedicated infrastructure in each of the zones, including gas, solar-powered energy plants, quality road infrastructure, fiber optic cables, water treatment facilities, and ancillary support structures to drive the activity along these agro corridors. In December, 40.07% of the total budget is proposed to be committed to the social sector, with the bulk of the resources going to education, 20%, healthcare, 15.04%, youth and sports, 3.17%. Items proposed in the social sector include the renovation of 300 public primary and secondary schools across the 17 LGAs of the state. Infrastructure upgrade at the State College of Education, the retooling of 3 technical schools across the 3 senatorial districts, the procurement and installation of world-class modern health facilities at 3 general hospitals across the 3 senatorial districts of the state, the construction of a standard medical village to stem the tide of medical tourism, the construction of the Sulu Sports and Entertainment Complex, construction of community sports hubs in all the 17 local governments of the state, construction of digital skills and innovation centers across the 3 senatorial districts, and many, many more. Our interest is clear. We are prioritizing the projects that have direct impact on the economic and social life of the citizenry, in line with our commitment to using the levers of government to serve the needs of the common people. Mr. Speaker, I want to especially appreciate this Honorable House for the speedy passage of the Greater Abia Development Authority gathered bill, which I am also glad to announce that I signed into law just yesterday. That will serve as the administrative vehicle to drive the social and economic development of Abia in line with our campaign promises to give priority attention to the rapid development of Abia and ultimately returning to its glory days. There has never been any doubt about what we intend to do in Abia, and I'm expecting that with the setting up of Ghana as a legal and administrative structure, developments in Abia will be better survive as be found in other universities across the world. As I promised at the media briefing earlier in the month, we shall be implementing a pay raise for all our civil servants to reflect the present economic reality in the country. This shall be implemented in the new year, and provision for that has been made in the 2024 budget. The government will continue to prioritize the welfare of its employees, even as we expect to see greater commitment from our civil servants, who are major stakeholders in the implementation of our governance strategy. We shall continue to support the conventional security establishments to improve the security of life and property in all parts of the state. Let me repeat my earlier warning that criminality, whatever types, shall have no place in the new area. We are open for business, and any threats to this group shall be made with full weight of the law. We understand the economic realities in the country and shall continue to do everything in our powers to support the individuals seeking to make an honest living through hard work in legitimate efforts. The government is already making arrangements to revive as many of our moribund industries as available resources and economic rationale permits. We are currently in discussions with existing stakeholders in this topic to see how we can restructure the agreements and have the establishments come back on stream. Because we are a pro-business government committed to actively supporting the private sector to massively create jobs for our people. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, and in the Abia, I invite us all to look to the future with great optimism. We are coming from a very difficult place, and none of the difficulties of the past can diminish the potentials of this great land. A new beginning awaits us, and I request everyone to come on board and to work to rebuild and restore the glory of our Father. So I lay this bill before this honorable house. May I assure you, Mr. Speaker, and the honorable members, that you will get all the necessary cooperation from my team as Abians look to the speed and diligent consideration of the 2024 budget proposal. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the House, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this. God bless you.